why the Japanese considered the P-38 Lightning an unpredictable enemy. But what truly cemented the P-38 Lightning's legend in the Pacific was its combat performance. From its earliest encounters, Japanese pilots faced a machine unlike anything they had ever faced before. Imagine the scene. You're in your Agile Zero, accustomed to dominating the skies, when suddenly a bizarre silhouette appears, with twin tails and a central body, cutting through the air at terrifying speed. The first contact was a shock. The P-38 could attack with surprise, using its speed to boom and zoom, dive, fire, and climb again before the enemy could react. In the turbulent skies of the Solomon Islands and New Guinea, the Lightning proved to be a formidable predator. While the Japanese Zeros were masters of tight turns and close-range dogfights, the P-38 played a different game. It used its superior speed and diving ability to dictate the terms of combat. Allied pilots like Richard Bong, the greatest American ace, mastered this machine, transforming it into an extension of their will. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where speed and maneuverability were the only difference between success and failure? How would you react if your opponent had such an obvious advantage? The Japanese pilots' reports were clear. The P-38 was an elite adversary. Its concentrated fire, 4 50 caliber machine guns and a 20mm cannon in the nose, was devastating. A single well-placed shot could disintegrate an enemy aircraft. There was no escaping those precise bursts. Over time, the Japanese pilots' initial shock gave way to grudging respect, and in some cases, deep fear. They soon learned that underestimating the Lightning was a fatal mistake. The P-38 earned nicknames among the Japanese that denoted its power and unpredictable nature. Many called it the fork-tailed devil, or two planes, one pilot, a reference to its unusual design and the pilot's ability to operate such a complex machine. This evolution in perception did not come without a cost. Each P-38 downed was a rare and celebrated victory, but each Japanese loss to a Lightning was a grim reminder of the technological and tactical superiority they faced. Japanese pilots, renowned for their bravery and discipline, began developing specific tactics to try to counter the P-38, a clear sign that it had become a priority in their intelligence analysis. They knew that an encounter with the fork-tailed devil was a test of skill and luck. From which city are you watching this video? Comment below and tell me if you've heard a similar story from your family about wars or innovations, where an enemy became a feared legend. The P-38's ability to fly at high altitudes and high speeds enabled the development of innovative combat tactics. Allied pilots not only used the boom and zoom approach, but also employed the Lightning in long-range reconnaissance missions, ground attack missions, and crucially, as a bomber escort. Its range allowed it to accompany bombers deep into enemy territory and protect them on the way back, something many other fighters of the era could not do. This versatility forced the Japanese to adapt their tactics. They could no longer focus solely on close-range aerial combat. They had to figure out how to intercept a plane that could suddenly appear at 30,000 feet and disappear in seconds. New flight patterns, defensive formations, and improvements to their own aircraft became urgent. Imagine yourself as a military strategist of the time. How would you adapt your forces to face an enemy that broke every rule you knew? What would be your priorities to neutralize such a flexible threat? The P-38's impact on Japanese pilots and forces went far beyond material losses. It had a profound psychological impact. The mere presence of a Lightning in the sky could demoralize entire squadrons. The idea that an enemy aircraft was faster, higher, and better armed, and that its pilots were equally proficient, created a sense of powerlessness. Many Japanese pilots, who initially believed in the invincibility of their Zeros, began to doubt their own capabilities. Think of a time in your life when a surprise changed everything, like an unexpected challenge at work or in a game. That's how the pilots felt. They were used to being the hunters, but suddenly they found themselves the prey. Have you ever felt the weight of technological or tactical inferiority in a competition or challenge? How did this feeling of being at a disadvantage affect your morale and your decisions? The sight of that twin-tailed silhouette became an omen of impending danger, an image etched in the minds of many who fought in the skies of the Pacific. The P-38 Lightning wasn't just a war machine. It was a catalyst for change, a legend that redefined what a fighter could be. Its legacy extends far beyond the battlefield, influencing aircraft design and aerial strategy for decades. To the Allies, it was a symbol of innovation and technological superiority, capable of performing missions few others could. To the Japanese, it became the embodiment of a relentless enemy, a force to be respected and feared, forcing them to rethink their tactics and even their philosophy of combat. The most famous story that encapsulates the legend of the P-38 from the Japanese perspective is undoubtedly Operation Vengeance. In April 1943, the P-38 was the only aircraft capable of intercepting and shooting down the plane carrying Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto, the architect of the attack on Pearl Harbor. This long-range interception mission, executed with surgical precision, demonstrated not only the aircraft's technical capability, but also the Allied intelligence and determination. For the Japanese, the loss of Yamamoto was a devastating blow, and the P-38, the devil with the forked tail, became the instrument of this tragedy, cementing its place in the pantheon of the most formidable enemies and reinforcing the fear it already inspired. The Lightning proved that speed, altitude, and concentrated firepower could overcome agility in many combat scenarios, especially in the vast Pacific theater of operations. It defied the conventions of the time, demonstrating that a heavy, long-range fighter could be a versatile and lethal weapon. It forced aeronautical engineers around the world to think outside the box, seeking innovative solutions to the challenges of aerial warfare, influencing the development of jet fighters and other high-performance aircraft in the post-war era. Its twin-tail design and central fuselage, initially met with skepticism, became a testament to bold engineering and a vision that was ahead of its time. It wasn't just an airplane, it was a declaration that technology and strategy could, together, change the course of history and the perception of power. The P-38's presence in the skies over the Pacific not only altered the balance of power, but also left an indelible mark on the collective memory of those who lived through that period. For Allied pilots, it was a reliable companion, a machine that offered a chance of survival in a brutal environment. For Japanese civilians and soldiers, the silhouette of the fork-tailed devil became a symbol of constant threat, a reminder of the relentless advance of enemy forces. The P-38 was not limited to being a tool of war. It became part of popular culture, appearing in films, books, and games, perpetuating its image as a legendary and multifaceted fighter. Its history is a vivid example of how military innovation can transcend its immediate purpose and become a cultural and historical icon. Even after the war ended, the P-38 continued to be a source of fascination. Many units were decommissioned, but its story lived on in the accounts of veterans and in the pages of history books. It inspired generations of pilots and engineers, and is still revered today in museums and air shows, where its unique shape and legacy are celebrated. The respect it earned, even from its most staunch adversaries, is a testament to its lasting impact and its ability to shape the course of events. The Japanese perspective on the P-38 Lightning teaches us that the history of war is not just about victories and defeats, but about the evolution of thought, adaptation to circumstances, and the psychological impact a weapon can have. It is a story of how innovation can generate fear, respect, and ultimately, a fundamental shift in the way battles are fought and perceptions are formed. It reminds us that behind every legendary machine lies a complex web of invention, combat, and the undeniable humanity of those who faced it. If you're a true military history enthusiast and were captivated by this narrative, how about we delve into other, equally amazing stories? Let us know in the comments which of these legends you'd like to see in the next video. The Messerschmitt Me 262, the Nazi jet that terrorized the Allied skies, the Soviet T-34, how a simple tank changed the course of the Eastern Front, or the mystery of Amelia Earhart, the true story behind aviation's most famous disappearance. Your opinion is crucial to our next dive into history and to the growth of our community. If you're looking for more untold stories of aviation legends or wars, be sure to subscribe now and hit the bell so you don't miss a thing. Share this video with a history-loving friend and help our community grow. And so the P-38 Lightning, the fork-tailed devil, was not just a weapon in the Allied arsenal. It became an indelible chapter in the history of World War II, especially for those who faced it across the Pacific. Its unique shape and performance forced a complete reassessment of aerial strategy and technology. Its ability to operate at high altitudes, its breathtaking speed, and concentrated firepower dismantled conventional tactics, sowing doubt. Ultimately, Japanese perception of the P-38 evolved from initial curiosity to cautious respect, and finally, reverent awe, a testament to the disruptive power of innovation and human adaptability in times of conflict. This fighter, with its unmistakable silhouette, personified the turning of the tide in the Pacific, marking an era of Allied air supremacy. Therefore, the saga of the P-38 Lightning, seen through Japanese eyes, is more than an aviation story. It is a profound lesson in how technology shapes enemy perception, how fear drives innovation, and how even the most bitter adversaries can reach a mutual understanding of an opponent's formidable capabilities. It reminds us that in any conflict, the narrative is not one-sided. There is always another perspective, another layer of experience that enriches our understanding of historical events and challenges us to look beyond the obvious. The legend of the P-38 endures not only for its exploits, but for the complexity of its interaction with those who considered it an unpredictable and fearsome enemy, a true landmark in the history of aviation and warfare that continues to fascinate and educate. If you're a true military history enthusiast and were captivated by this narrative, how about we delve into other equally amazing stories? Let us know in the comments which of these legends you'd like to see in the next video. The Messerschmitt Me-262, the Nazi jet that terrorized the Allied skies. The Soviet T-34, how a simple tank changed the course of the Eastern Front. Or The Mystery of Amelia Earhart, the true story behind the most famous disappearance in history.